With palms pressed together, please join me in Gassho. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts and our actions, we make the world. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda, namanda. Good morning. The words of Shakyamuni Buddha remind us that there are no accidents in life. There is only cause and effect. Our lives are the result of countless causes and conditions that constantly intersect and interconnect. That we change constantly reflects the impermanence of all things. And speaking of change, is anyone celebrating a birthday in the month of April? Yes, yeah, okay, good. Yeah. Well, this weekend, I'm the night guy on labor and delivery at our Sutter Medical Center. And the night guy, or the night gal, cares for all the mothers-to-be from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. So in this last 48 hours, we welcomed 39 babies born into the world. Just our little shop there on 2801L. Yeah, can you imagine that? That's like two kindergarten classes born in a weekend, one born each day. And being present on moment zero, day one, first breath. When I think about this, it's kind of mind-blowing. As a youngster, I really didn't pay much attention to that, even when celebrating happy birthday. So to all the April birthdays, happy birthday to you. There are also two other very special birthdays to announce. The first is to young Braylon Umeda. Braylon Umeda is the daughter of Lindsay Umeda and Jason Wan. And Braylon, who was born yesterday, weighed in at 6 pounds, 15 ounces. And then the other special birthday, no drum roll please, is a wonderful baby girl born to Samantha Nita Atajar and Matt Nita Atajar. And young baby Nita, she hasn't been named yet, weighed in at 6 pounds, 13 ounces. And everyone is happy and healthy, so wonderful. This also reminded me that I had some cleaning out of files to do. Not paper files, you see. These were the electronic type. My computer has been giving me this recurring message. This is number 1, system update available now. The other message was your startup disk is full and you cannot update until you dump some files. So since I've been seeing this message for about 6 months, I figured that now didn't really mean now, but I finally took these instructions to task. And in doing so, I came across a religious studies paper that my daughter Lindsay had worked on in her freshman year at St. Francis High School. The STEM question that was posed by Lindsay's instructor was, what is love? What is love? And as I read this STEM question to Lindsay's paper, I was reminded of the day of her birth, and I realized that Lindsay, now 21 years old, has been surrounded by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas all along the way. And that I realized that I too have been fortunate to be surrounded by teachers, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas every day. And so when we think about a Bodhisattva in our Mahayana tradition, this is a person who is able to reach nirvana, but delays doing so out of caring in order to alleviate the suffering of others. And in thinking deeply upon that question, what is love? As my nights on call turned in from dusk to dark and then dark to sunrise, I remembered again that I have been fortunate to be around so many wonderful teachers. And so I'd like to share with you a story of how I met a living Buddha, and I experienced firsthand a response to that question, what is love? In my profession as a physician, you see, I am fortunate to work with wonderful friends and meet beautiful people every day. From time to time, the patients I care for will open windows into the richness of their lives. And even though their immediate outlook may seem unsettled, dark, or cloudy, they share without knowing it. One day, over 10 years back, a colleague of mine shared his personal struggles and challenges that he had adjusting to his new household. He and his wife were professionals, you see. Their young son had just finished kindergarten, and now their boy was in elementary school and well on his way. Here was this beautiful family, two professionals trying to balance the demanding careers and the growing needs of their young son. Sometimes the challenges of their busy household gave way to unkind words and arguments. Have you ever noticed this happening in your own life? Or perhaps you have observed this in the people whom you have met. The busyness of daily routines, field trips, work, school projects, play dates. There are couples coming home from long days at work, wondering, who's cooking dinner tonight? Isn't this your turn to pick up? Hey, you're supposed to drop off tomorrow. I'm going to be late. Didn't you promise that you would? And so it could go. Well, over 10 years ago, I remembered covering a workday for my good friend so that he could visit his own doctor. He had gone to check on a lump in his throat. About a week had passed, and then we spoke again. A long pause had ensued. Tears welled up in the corners of his eyes, and after a time, my friend went on. The lump, you see, turned out to be cancer. Without treatment, the tumor would no doubt grow, and it would become disfiguring. In its advanced stages, such a cancer had been known to cause painful death. One could only imagine the thoughts racing through his mind. A physician himself, accustomed to caring for others, but now needing care himself. His young family just getting started, and now looking at the reality that he might not have the chance to watch his son grow and fulfill his potential. True, with treatment, he would have a chance at a cure, but life-saving surgery could likely take away his sense of smell, leave him unable to taste food. His voice would be gone, and leave him unable to speak. Even with reconstructive surgery, his features would be transformed and leave him disfigured. He would not be able to look at all like the person he, his family, and his friends had come to know and care for. Suddenly, in that moment, with such realizations, his Dharma eyes had opened. Suddenly, he realized that every scent, every taste of all the meals that he had ever eaten had never been fully or truly appreciated. He had taken everything for granted and now realized that every flavor was precious. He felt the same about the countless conversations that he had had in his life, and now he knew that every word spoken could be his last, and that each word and every audible sound was a treasure. And in reviewing the activities of his life, he now saw that every soccer game, each Pinewood Derby, every spelling bee, and each meal together with his family were special moments that would come but once. In that instant, my good friend knew that life was too short for unkind words and arguments over the busyness of any day. In that instant, my friend came to understand that every moment spent with his family was unique and special, that they were experiences to be treasured, for they could be lived only once. In other words, in that moment, his Dharma eyes had opened to the truth of impermanence and to the reality that to love is to mean that what is love will one day be lost. Said another way, in living life, we all must know loss, but to know love is living life. This is what makes human life so special. Well, later in that same month, my friend opted for surgery. 9.5 hours he would spend in an operating theater with friends and family gathered together, standing for word from his doctors. And with words unspoken, they all had experienced the reality of love, was realizing that what is loved may one day be lost. They spent 9.5 hours contemplating the love that they shared together, and all of the moments and memories passed, all the while quietly trying to prepare themselves for the physical transformation of our dear friend. When nurses finally admitted my friend's wife into the recovery room, all were filled with shock and awe. Our friend still looked like our friend. His surgeon had explained that their team was able to remove the entire tumor, leaving the margins clear of cancer and leaving his outward figures largely unchanged. Through this experience, the words from my good friend, I had realized that I had met a living bodhisattva, teaching me again that every taste, every touch, every scent, every sight, sound, and feeling that I am fortunate to experience is special. Constantly, we are reminded that there are no accidents in life. There is only cause and effect. Every moment is one to be treasured, and the bodhisattvas in our life will teach us again and again that life is too short for unkind words, and to love is to realize that what is loved will one day be lost. We know this truth of impermanence well, and yet in living life, it is a reality that we must learn again and again. Each time we experience such a lesson, our Dharma eyes are made to open again and again and again. With palms pressed together, please join me in Gassho. In reality, every taste, touch, scent, sight, and sound and feeling is a treasure. We are what we think. With our thoughts and our actions, we make the world. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda, namanda.